Peterson, Michipicoten, and I'm running for council again. And this one, I've done it for the past 2 terms. And it's really interesting. Everybody has a lot of interesting things to say and ideas. And it's really awesome to hear all that, and even just to get together. But one thing that is really important to understand is that every penny we get from the government, we have to account for that. It comes with rules, with policies. This is how you spend it, this is who you spend it on, where, and on what. So we need to get away from the government. We need to do our own economic development. And my focus, I'm getting off track, my focus was on education and membership. That's what I would like to bring to the team. That's what I'm knowledgeable in. And I know a lot of things that are lacking in economic development and all those other areas. But I'm not very knowledgeable, I'm being honest, but I will bring what I am very good at, and I know, well, I'm not an expert, but I know enough to get by and help my members, our members. So with education, I hear people about having our members off reserve getting assistance. We just started that one we have on the reserve in the community, because we know our people are struggling. But what we didn't do was bring it to management. We just did it and requested the funding and why we were requesting it. And it went. So that kind of opened my eyes on a lot of stuff, and I said, we just need to do things on our own. Just do it. Why are we waiting? What are we waiting for? So if we had funding for our unreserved kids to help them with their school supplies, first question is, where is that funding going to come from? Yes, it's easy, it's nice to get funding and lots of dollars, but it's not as easy as that, and I don't believe that we should think that way. Just because you apply somewhere doesn't mean you're going to get it. That's not how it works. I work at Michipicoten, and I see a lot of things that we've tried to apply for, and it's not Michipicoten, it's the government or the funder that says no, because you don't have enough people living in your community, because you don't have this, because you don't have that. There's all kinds of barriers that we need to go through, all kinds of hoops. So what I propose is that we start doing things on our own, get our own businesses going, so we can fund our off-reserve students, our off-reserve elementary kids going to school, help them, help people. And then talking about gatherings, again, where's the money going to come from to pay for all this? I would also like to thank those people that donated for this hall, to cover this hall. You know, it takes money for everything, and we got to bring ourselves back down to reality. Money isn't just there for everybody to take. That's not how it is. Quit thinking that way. We work. We've always worked. Nishnawbe has always worked for everything that they've had. We've struggled. We're working to get our language back. We're working to get our traditions back, because they are all taken. So we need to work, get off our butts and do our jobs and do something. As for membership, membership is a big scam, I think, especially with Aboriginal affairs. They dictate who can be Indian and how much or how little. You all know that. They dictate that. Jagnash tells us how much Indian we are, how much we are not, and if our children should be. Why is that? Because we've allowed that to happen. The Indian Act tells us that. We need to get out of there too. Generations are skipped. Status people. Most people have to fight for their status, which should have been rightfully theirs. And that's one of my biggest pet peeves. Now you need a drink of water. Sorry. Switch. You know, working as the membership board, a lot of members call and ask, how come? How come I'm way down there? Or how come my child can't get status? And you know, that's heartbreaking to hear that almost day in, day out. It's not that bad, but it is pretty prominent. A lot of our members are not getting status that they should. Members' families. So something needs to be done. We need our election code. We need our membership code. But then again, the government has their hands in it, where hands are tied. Until we have an election code, then we can transfer members or accept members.
Yes, go ahead. Sorry, and I know I'm not supposed to ask questions, but this won't come up at the end. With regard to the membership, I know Bill C-31, people that are married to non-Aboriginal people, and their children have status. Now, can you tell me if Chief and Council has the right under the code, if you have your own code and your own membership, that those children can be acknowledged as status?
When the members want it.
When the members want it, or when Chief and Council?
It's got nothing to do with Chief and Council. Chief and Council don't say nothing.
So if the members,
what we're supposed to do.
And I won't drag it out, but if the members support it, then whoever the community says can have access, the children can be acknowledged as
if
status.
it's in a constitution. We have to develop our own constitution.
Okay.
We have to develop our education constitution, election constitution. We're so far behind, it's pitiful. But it's not hard to do. We just need to get together. There's lots of people that are very, very educated. We have forestry people. We have economic development people. We have health and welfare people. What is the problem? There is no problem. There's just, okay, I promise not to be negative, but the power, the controlling is just ridiculous. At Chief and Council level right now. And it's so sad. It's really sad. I work there and I see the staff that work. They all work. They do their jobs. But administration doesn't see that, how hard we work, the kinds of problems we run through. Our young kids, somebody's talked about the young kids, our education. You know, there has been some attempted suicides in our community that we've had to intervene as the health team. Those are things that Chief and Council don't know. They don't want to know. I don't know why. Or they object to something that we want to bring in to help. We need a Chief and Council that is going to listen and bring themselves down to the root level of Anishinaabe, where we came from. It's really hard to try and get people to understand, our people. And it's all we need to do is understand, make each other understand what the problem is. We need to get out of the Jagnash control. It's very easy. I'm part of the Anishinaabe education system. Has anybody heard about that? Through the union? Union of Ontario Unions? We've been with that since 1990. I've been working with that. We developed all the educational tools, curriculum, and needs, and all the assessments and stuff like that that are needed for its own entity to run our Aboriginal education system. It's set to go, and it's going to cover all the questions that everybody's asked about kids. What about this kid? What about these kids? It's not at chief and council table. It doesn't come to chief and council table. I don't know why. I remind my reporting, so it's still not on the table. We've talked about it once. And here they are, they're ready to ratify. The government, they're gonna get their money from the Treasury Department right to the AES. No more INAC, them dividing on which department gets this much, and no more. It's going right to Anishinaabe. But we need to prepare ourselves also. We got to get that constitution going, which will be all members' input. I strongly, strongly believe in having the members' input and voicing what they would like to see. And to me, that's always been teamwork.
Linda, can I ask a question? If AETS is now going to be controlling our education funds, what does that mean to us? What does that do? Like, does that mean less for education?
What do you think AES is?
Education or initiative, education training services, and
Exactly. Anishinaabe education system. What does that mean to you?
I don't know. It doesn't sound good to me, though. Like, what does that mean for our people?
Well, it means that our children will get the curriculums that they're supposed to get in the schools and learn about the true history of Anishinaabe and not what the Jagnash is teaching them. It will mean that our education system will be way better. We will be equal in paying tuitions. Bands are charged more money than other schools to pay for the tuition. So at AES, it's not AETS, it's AES. We have total control. All the bands.
So it's a good thing.
It's an awesome thing.
Okay. I just didn't like.
That's why I say I've been there since 1990. I've been working with them. We've had our Michipicoten's community level involved in it. I've been involved and another counselor has been involved in it. And I've been sure to make sure that, community members are always thought of. It starts from the root level. As for economic development, well, we have a lot of resources, a lot of chances and opportunities, but we need the educated people. We need educated people. And it's the same thing all over, members don't want to come back home because we can't pay them enough what they would get paid out there. We can't. Not with the amount of money we get from the government. Remember, that's where we're getting it. It's not Michipicoten's money. That's who governs how we spend our money. Mind you, a lot of times there are areas where it could be better dispersed, I guess I should say. But anyway, membership, we need our membership voting. That stipulation from the boundary land claim that we cannot accept members until we have an election vote. Again, Jagnash telling us what to do, how to do things. That's why we can't accept people. People want to come home. People got married and got transferred somewhere else. Now they want to come home. I mean, who does that to another people, another society? Really control. And you take a look at it. That's how we're controlled. Membership numbers, status numbers, category code. If you go right down to it, it'd be a percentage of how much Indian we will be. And that's the other thing. We're losing our status, people. It's dwindling down. 6-2s, that's all we got. Majority. When those 6-2s have kids, there's no more status for Michipicoten. So, do you think we need our own constitution and have our own election code? Damn right we do. We need to start doing things for ourselves. Quit depending on Jagnash and the government. I have nothing against them. I just don't like them. Because they're always telling us what to do. Everything, everything. So I hope I've been positive enough. I could go on and on, but it's not worth it. What's the point? So any questions?
We'll save the questions for after, just because we have to be out of here for 5.
Okay. For 5.